happened, but in the middle of my conversation, all of a sudden the card that does the streaming just decided to not work. And that's perfectly fine. We can always start over again. So I'd like to welcome everybody back and thank you for taking the time to listen to my video. Obviously, my name is Chris, and this is Barnon 11970, and I want to discuss a little bit about the video I made last night. Now, I want to thank the trolls that have proven time and time again how they do not watch videos and they just make hateful comments. That I made a video about 3 weeks ago saying that, in my opinion, and that's what it was my opinion. It's not like I worked for the government and had top secret inside information. I made a video 3 weeks ago stating that, in my opinion, I believe there wouldn't be debates, and I really thought it was because Donald Trump would eat Hillary Clinton alive. To me, in my opinion, Hillary Clinton is a criminal. She should be in jail. She should not have the right to even have the potential of becoming president. I want to make that perfectly clear. I cannot stand Hillary Clinton. She is the typical politician. She's been proven time and time again how she's a liar and a cheater, how the media and the FBI are on her side. And when I saw her sick, it was the first time in my life I ever said, that's a good thing. So I want to make that perfectly clear. I would vote for Hillary only if she was going up against Satan. We'll put it that way. I've also said in many videos that this is a rigged system. This is confirmed. You can even see it in the comments that people tend to justify things and allow their egos to just supersede logic and reason. Now, I've said, and I even said it in yesterday's video, and I hope people will actually watch them and not just base it on following what other people do, because my video yesterday has 20 thumbs down already, and that's perfectly fine. But what it says to me is people have such passion about something that they don't want to hear anything that differs from their point of view. And that's a dangerous way to live. If you are so locked into a principle or an idea or a belief to the point where you have no flexibility, you are only hurting yourself and the cause that you supposedly stand for. And that has a lot to do with a person's ego. And I hope people are not as religious as they say, because ego is something that is a lower vibration. It's going to keep you in check. It's going to keep you in control. And it's not going to allow you to branch out. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, even steel needs to bend. There's a reason why they build buildings. The taller they go, the more flexible they are. They have to actually move. You ever see, like, when they talk about the Empire State Building, that it actually sways the higher up you go? That's so this way, when there's hurricane winds, it doesn't break. So if you actually made a building that's so rigid it doesn't move, well, big enough winds would actually make the steel break and it would collapse on itself. So in other words, you have to have flexibility. And if you read some of the comments, first of all, it shows that there are people out there that just make profiles just to spread hate, and that's fine if that's what they want to do with their lives. But when I talk about politics, and if you actually are one of the few that watches my videos, I've said on repeated videos that the system is corrupt, that no one individual can save a corrupt system, and that even though, and I said it in yesterday's video, even if this was a legit system, I would want to vote for Trump. But then again, if this was a legit system, we would never have the need for somebody like Trump. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we have had presidents since I believe, 1789, around that time. Whether you believe in George Washington as the first president or not, that's irrelevant. If you research it, there's actually been some before him, but history or his story only tells you what you need to hear. Eliminating truth is the same as lying. But why is it all of a sudden now we're going to have a president come in and change the system and save the world? I mean, we're talking not, this is the first time that this has happened and we think, oh, well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. This is going on from president to president. The last real president that we've had that made any attempt to try and help the people was John F. Kennedy. And one of his executive orders, 11110, was one of the reasons, in my opinion, why he was assassinated. Now, one of the reasons, not the reason. Now, when you talk about ego, It's the fact that people, they are so into something they believe in that they don't want to hear any possibilities of anything that differs from their belief. And that's where violence comes in. That's where hatred comes in. I mean, like I said, look at my video. This video I made yesterday has over 4,000 views. It currently has 4,100 views, even though you'll only see, thanks to YouTube, because they like to restrict my numbers and keep my videos hidden, it only shows approximately 2,600. I'm surprised they actually even show that much. But I mean, 20 thumbs down with over 4,000 people, I guess I can't say is too bad, but it's higher than most of my videos. I average between 4 and 8 thumbs down on a video because I speak logically, I speak with common sense, and because of the fact that I'm not in love with either candidate, I don't have this need to put someone on a pedestal and make them do no wrong. And that's where you have to be careful. And that's why people like Hitler, Stalin, and all these other dictators and people that harmed their people got into power. They didn't start by getting into power by saying, "Hey, everybody, I want to hug and kiss you all, and everything's going to be fine." And and they also didn't say, "Oh, I'm going to kill you all." There's this charm into it. It's making you think that the person can do no wrong, and they sucker you in. And people don't want to hear the warning signs. Now, if you read the comments in the video I made yesterday, there are people saying, "Oh, well, Donald Trump is trying to really fix this rigged system." Well, how is he going to fix it if you even admit yourself it's rigged? People are still saying, "Why isn't Bernie Sanders in the race?" when it's already been proven, thanks to the WikiLeaks information, that the DNC was rigged for Hillary, and he had no chance. But yet people don't want to remember this, or think that's exclusive, or the only time this has happened. Now, one of the reasons why I, in my opinion, stated that I didn't believe that there was going to be debates is that Trump would have totally outmatched her. And like I said in the analogy yesterday, it was almost like, in my opinion, like Mike Tyson doing a boxing match with Pee Wee Herman. It would have been no contest. But if you actually watch that debate, and you watch it from a purely observational, no investment in either political party way, you would see that Donald Trump pulled his punches. Yes, he got in some shots. I even said it. He started out pretty strong, but he faded away. It was like a boxing match where you have Mike Tyson beating the living daylights out of Pee Wee Herman. The crowd is cheering, waiting for that final blow to knockout punch, and he backs away. And the end of the fight, it ended up being almost a draw. And in that sense, if Pee Wee Herman and Mike Tyson were fighting, and it ended up a draw, that is more of a win for Pee Wee Herman than it is a victory for Mike Tyson. And that's what I view is my opinion, that although I hate Hillary, although I hate her with a passion, she's a typical politician who sells us out, who takes plenty of money in the form of donations, so she had the nerve to talk about taxes. And this is something Donald Trump could easily have said. If I know it, how come he didn't say it? When she was drilling him on taxes, and she hit him pretty hard, and he basically dodged the question, he could have turned around and easily said, "Okay, wait a minute. What about your Hillary Clinton Foundation where you're getting quote-unquote donations?" Well, aren't donations tax-free? So you want to talk about not paying taxes? Can you give a tax report on all those donations that didn't go to the places that you said? Well, if I could think of that, you don't think he would have known that? So why didn't he say it? He barely talked about the emails. He could have done several knockout punches, and he didn't. And because Hillary Clinton was at the end standing, that says more about the victory for her. Not because I want her to win. It's what the reality is. And you have to understand, the people that watch videos like mine and others, we are 0.000% of the population. The masses out there believe everything they hear. And I guarantee you the masses are going to feed into this frenzy, and the people will say, "Wow, look at Hillary Clinton. She stood up to Donald Trump. Everybody was so afraid of that." How many people watched that just to see if she would collapse at the podium? The fact that she didn't will get all the people to say, oh, look at all you crazy conspiracy theorists and all this stuff, you were wrong. But if we cannot let go of our egos, if we are so set on just putting Donald Trump on a pedestal, you are going to regret your decisions in the long run. And if you notice, and if the trolls would actually watch a video before they make their stupid comments, in the first minute of the video I made yesterday, I go and admit that the video I made 3 weeks ago saying there will never be a debate, that I was wrong. How many people do you know when they say something that ends up being wrong, that they actually make a video that admits it? How many people have to wait until somebody else calls them out before they say, oh, yeah, I was right. I was wrong. So, my thing is, if you want to be suckered into thinking that Donald Trump is going to be the answer to all answers, your savior, then you're not paying attention to history. And if people want to say things like, oh, Chris is a shill and he's selling out and all this stuff, I'm being a realist. This is a corrupt system. Go watch the trials that they had with the FBI agents that are supposed to be bipartisan and they're not supposed to be on anyone's side. How they all got immunity, how most of them pleaded the fifth when it came to the crucial information. How when they were subpoenaed for the evidence, they ignored the subpoenas and gave what they thought was appropriate, destroying evidence. And yet, what did they get for their punishment? They got immunity. Who do you think gives the authority for immunity? It goes as high as the president, ladies and gentlemen. So if you think this situation is going to be different because one person goes into the mafia and says, I'm going to make change, then you are delusional and you are going to set yourself up to be controlled even more. And that's what I'm trying to prevent people from doing. My purpose of my videos is to make you think for yourself, to make you see things from an observational point of view. If you put your heart and passion into something to the point where you cannot listen to anything that differs from your belief, you are in a trap and you are going to fail. And I'm trying to help people from getting that way. So I don't have a problem with people hating the fact that I did not kiss Donald Trump's rear end. That was not a victory last night. He threw a couple of punches, but I was hoping if there was going to be a debate, and one of the reasons why I thought there wasn't going to be one is because he would have so many bullets in his gun that he could have let loose, and within the first 5 minutes, he could have showed his strength. He was very passive last night. But yes, like in any play, in every act, they have to participate a little bit, because if he just sat there crying, well, that would pretty much expose him, wouldn't it? So you have to show a little bit. And that's what he did. He gave a couple of hits here and there, but he never went for the finishing blow. And that is not what Donald Trump has been standing for. And to me, that gives a win for Hillary. And do you think I like saying that? No, but I am not afraid to admit that it was a win for Hillary just for the fact that she left that standing. So if you want to hate me because I'm trying to show you from an observational only point of view with no passion for either candidate, because I know how the system's corrupt and people are not willing to put in the time and effort it takes to see this. I mean, just last month, with all the WikiLeaks coming out, do people just refuse to see it? You just want to cover your ears, cover your eyes, hear no evil, speak no evil, and you just want to believe that there's good in this corrupted system? How do you sleep at night? Now, I'm not talking about my regular subscribers that are here, that actually understand, that actually watch my videos and actually hear what I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to teach you to think for yourselves. But as usual, the average person wants to put all of this saviorism, I guess, on Donald Trump, saying, oh, here, you do the work for us, because we don't want to. And that's where the ego is coming in. And that's where I hope many people aren't religious. Because if you have that much power and ego, where you're unwilling to listen to anything, you are easily led. Because like I've warned people, they want you to base things on emotion. So people are so emotionally involved with Donald Trump that they don't want to hear anything. And if somebody comes along like me who is not for either party, because I know it's the system that's corrupt, and I say for what it really was a mediocre debate where Donald Trump could have gone in for the killer blow, and he didn't do it. It made him look weaker. He was nodding almost 80% of the time Hillary was saying something in agreement. The cameras showed them both at the same level, even though she's way shorter than him. They had her camera just slightly a little crisper, because you'll notice if you watch the video, you'll see his camera fades and buzzes out a little bit, makes him a little blurry. That's hard on the eyes, makes you focus more towards Hillary. These are little tricks they use. So the people are being tricked. Yes, I understand that most people want Donald Trump in there. Why do you think they want somebody like Donald Trump in there? Has there ever been a presidential candidate that's been like him before? And it's because people are so fed up with being mistreated, being lied to, having their wealth stolen and their freedoms taken away, that they're willing to take a person that has no experience at all, that is a very good talker for the most part, and give him leadership of this country. And they will accept things and chant things like "build that wall," which, ladies and gentlemen, I've said on several occasions, not only keeps people out, but it keeps people in. There's an old saying that says, "Be careful what you wish for, you might get it." And I'm not going to pander to my audience, because pandering gets views, and views get people lots of money. And that's why people will do and say everything to make sure they get thousands upon thousands of views so they can make thousands upon thousands of dollars. And I saw videos last night from people saying that Trump absolutely killed it. And you know why they did videos like that? It's because they know many people who are basically peeved off about how they're being treated in this world and in this government are going to be so pro-Trump that they're going to love that cheering section, and they want to join in because it makes them feel good. So if you want to feel good, it's like a drug, ladies and gentlemen. It will temporarily make you feel good, and you'll need more and more of it. But what does a drug ultimately do to you? It kills you. And people don't want to hear that. And that's why you can have a heroin addict that would actually rather choose death than life after a while, because they are so addicted to it. They don't want to hear it's killing them. They don't want to think about the fact that they've stolen from everybody that they love to the point where they're homeless on the streets because no one will take them in. They just want to feed the ego. They want to feel good. So, ladies and gentlemen, it seems apparently that Donald Trump is most people's drug, and they are so addicted to it that they don't want to hear logic. They don't want to hear it's bad for them. They don't want to hear anything, and they'll turn it against somebody like me saying, "Oh, I'm a traitor," or "I'm a shill," or "I'm really for Hillary Clinton." Let me tell you something. If Hillary Clinton dropped dead tomorrow, I would be dancing in the streets, because that meant one less corrupt politician to try and take away parts of my freedom. So make no mistake, I am not some shill for Hillary. I hope she gets what she deserves, but she won't, because it's a corrupt system. There's a reason why she's not in jail and she has that presidential debate going on. It's because the system is rigged for her, because she makes them lots of money. She does what they're told. And if you think Donald Trump is going to be president, let me tell you something. I was wrong with the thing that there would be no debate. I will be so happy to make a video if Donald Trump becomes president. But I will also say, be careful what you get for, because you won't notice it right away. Just like everybody was dancing in the streets when Obama became president, and how quickly people forget that people were crying in the streets. People were saying, "Oh, this is the savior. He's the one that's going to change things from evil George Bush." How'd that work out? When you see video after video of African Americans saying how much he was a traitor, what's Obama's legacy? What has he done? He has a legacy, creating more division and more hatred, more separation, more poverty, more lies, more restrictive government, more executive orders, more golf games. Those are his legacies. But yet people cheered him on. And I was one of them back in those days when I was part of the sleeping masses. I thought it was amazing. I thought we really were progressing. It's like we had our first black president. I thought that was amazing. How'd that work out? So now all of a sudden Donald Trump is going to be the savior. How? You think he's going to go in and be able to change anything? And all these billionaires that invested billions in their lives into corrupting the system, they're going to say, oh, Donald Trump's in. I guess the people spoke. I guess we should back off this time, even though we've been doing this for generations. How are people that clueless? It's ego. And until you get your ego in check, you are only setting yourself up for failure. And my channel is not pandering. My channel is not going to tell you what you want to hear. And that's why I don't care. Out of 28,000 subscribers, my average view count is under 1,000 views. Because that means out of the 28,000, roughly about 500 people care and get it. And that shows what we are up against. That even in the quote-unquote truther movement, 90% of them don't want to care about something unless it panders to their ego and makes them feel good. You gotta say something good. How dare you question things? And that's why people are easily controlled. Because even in the quote-unquote truther movement, people don't want to hear what they don't want to hear. And they'll go to, that's why people like Alex Jones, that's why they're so popular. He'll tell you everything you want to hear. He wants to support your fear about being shot and being World War III and thrown into the FEMA camps. Well, haven't they been saying that for a while? Didn't the people say in 2012 the world was going to end? Remember that, ladies and gentlemen? Remember 1999 with Y2K? And they were talking about all the thousands of body bags because planes were going to fall from the sky? How many times do we have to continue to have this fear-mongering and realize that that's all it is? And on the other end, they keep trying to tell you, oh, we're going to tell you everything that you want to hear. Why do you think beer commercials have nothing but people in bikinis and bathing suits, like models, dancing around at the beach, all partying? I doubt most of you out there, including myself, when they have their parties, that all of a sudden beautiful models come to your house drinking beer on some island in the Bahamas. But they'll tell you what you want to hear, because you'll think, oh, I want to drink that particular beer because, look, it makes me popular. It makes me feel good. It makes me forget things. It also makes you ruin your liver, ruin your families, and possibly potentially kill yourself or others. People still smoke cigarettes, even though they know they're cancer sticks and they will kill you and at the very least give you emphysema, which most people think is a disease, when emphysema is nothing more than burning of your lungs. The emphysema doesn't come from the tar and the nicotine and all the chemicals. It comes from the heat from the cigarette. When you inhale a cigarette, the heat burns your alveoli, which are microscopically thin pieces of parts of your body tissue that transfer your oxygen into your bloodstream. So every time you inhale a cigarette, you're actually burning it. That's why your lungs look charcoal brown to black. And you're told it's a disease. Well, diseases are spreadable. When you stop smoking, you're no longer inhaling the heat. You actually do not continue to cause damage. But people don't want to hear truth. They want to hear what makes them feel better. So if you're here thinking that this channel is about pandering to you, pandering to your ego, telling you everything that you want to hear, this is my advice. Hit unsubscribe. Because I'm here for people that want to think for themselves, that want to become independent, that want to see that if you want to have a good life, you don't pass that ability to someone else and say, here, take over my life, please. Because if you're going to make it that way, at least hand it to somebody that's going to do something. And in this corrupt system, if you can't get it by now, if you've been watching all of these types of videos, and you're one of the people that claims to be awoken, and you still can't get that one person can't change a corrupt system, there's no hope. And that's why things like FEMA camps and all these other things that people are so worried about probably will happen to most people. Won't happen to somebody like me and others that are paying attention and actually see things from more an observational point of view. It's because I don't put all of my eggs into one basket. As much as I would love for Donald Trump to be the savior, he ain't no Jesus Christ. And people are making him out to be that way. So my channel is always going to be smaller. It's going to have less than 10% of its viewers actually view. And even less than 10% of those people will actually be here for the right reasons. And that's fine with me. And that's why the title of my channel is, my little quote is, Uniting the People One Person at a Time, not 1 million. So you could think whatever you want. If you want to have wishful thinking, if you want to spend your life dreaming and think everything's going to be fine, Donald Trump's going to come in and save the day, good luck with that. And in 2 or 3 years, when you see things getting worse and the wall gets built and all of a sudden you can't leave the country and they have a federalized government police system, just like they did with Nazi Germany, how they federalized everything. They slowly do it, so this way you don't pay attention. You'll argue, you'll complain, but you won't stop it. If there's still freedom on YouTube, I'll be more than happy to say I told you so. And it's funny, the trolls, how they'll always point out something I do wrong, never point anything that I do right. And I would love for somebody to point out one person on the planet that's ever gotten anything right. But notice I didn't have to have a bunch of people calling me out to make a video saying, oh, I guess I was wrong. The first thing I did after that debate was admit that my video saying that there'll never be a debate was wrong. Because I don't have an ego. So this is not going to be a very highly watched video. Watch. Yesterday's video has over 4,000 views, even though it only shows about 2,600. Thanks, YouTube. This video will probably get about 500 to 600 at most. And there'll be plenty of thumbs down, because that's what people that don't want to make any effort do. And that's fine. And I'll continue to speak to the very few that actually get it. And the very few are the ones that are going to be the best chance of being the most successful. So, make your criticism if it makes you feel good. Attack me so it makes you feel better. Say the little silly comments and contribute nothing on your own YouTube channel. Make nothing but criticisms about somebody after the fact. Only focus on the negative. Keep your delusions in check. Make sure you watch all the videos that pander to your ego, and watch how good that helps you in your future. If you cannot understand what I'm saying, then you're part of the problem and you don't get it. And obviously, if I'm doing this for views, this is a little counterproductive, don't you think? But I don't care about that. I care more about my integrity. And I'll call it as I see it. And in my opinion, and that's all it is, you're allowed to have your own opinion, but in my opinion, that debate last night, Trump had the chance to do the killing blow, and he didn't do it. So my question is why? You can justify it any way you want to make sure your ego's in check and make sure your savior still comes out on top. If you think that was a win for him, then you just don't get it. And like I've said repeatedly, and I guess I'll have to repeatedly say it, Hillary should be in jail. Hillary is part of the system. And one of the things I did like about what Trump said last night is he called her out saying, you've had 30 years to do it. You think all of a sudden you're going to do it now. That was a great couple of punches, but he didn't follow through with a finishing move. And he let her keep coming back in and keep coming back in. And like I said, if you have a boxing match where you have Mike Tyson going against Pee Wee Herman, everybody's voting for Mike Tyson. But just like in the government system, the boxing is rigged, and they will make sure that there is no knockout punch because they know all the people are going to be betting for Mike Tyson. So the fact at the end that there is no knockout punch and Pee Wee Herman is still standing, they make lots of money off of people, and people will say, well, Mike Tyson didn't lose. But yet, how did he really win if the person he could have easily knocked out with one punch stood their ground? And that's what happened last night. Hillary Clinton was shown that she stood her ground. Trump and Hillary have been friends for decades. If you think they're enemies right now, that's one of the reasons why they barely even looked at each other. Because the eyes are the window to the soul. And if they would have continued to look at each other too much, they might start laughing and break out of character. You're all being played, and you don't want to see it, and you want to hate somebody like me because I'm an easy target. And that's fine. Keep pretending. Keep feeding the ego. Keep thinking that, you need somebody else to lead you. Keep saying you can't do it on your own, and that's exactly what you'll get. Be careful what you wish for. You might get it. So I look forward to the thumbs down. I look forward to the people that unsubscribe. And I also really look forward to the few that get it, that come here for the right reasons, that are more independent, that know the system is corrupt, don't depend on that system to take care of themselves, and in any situation will definitely have a much higher chance of success and survival than the 99% who are there to just not pay attention. And you small amount of people are the ones that I'm here for. And yes, as Paznas says, sometimes truth hurts. It absolutely does. And if you have a severe enough ego to allow it to hurt you, well, that says more about you than it ever will be about the person you project your hate on. If you're projecting hate, it means you have hate in your heart. And you have so much of it that you can project it to someone else. Where's the love? Where's the unity? I see no unity. Well, I can't say I see none. I see very little. So, I look forward to the comments. I look forward to my stalker trolls who will make yet another fake profile to say the most ridiculous things so I could just block them. Or maybe I'll let one or two stick around so you could see what these people with lots of free time like to do. Go on their, when you see a troll kind of statement, go on their channel. Watch how they contribute nothing but complaining. What a life. So, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Keep living your dream. Keep letting your ego get higher and higher. Please don't be religious, because if you know anything about religion, you'll know what ego really is. And it's disappointing that I have to point things like that out. I'm glad for the few that get it, but it's the few. And last I checked, the many always outweigh the few. And that's why we have a continued corrupt system that will continually pander to you, tell you what you want to hear, say all the things that make you cheer and wave your flags, and you'll dismiss anything as, oh, well, you'll make your excuses of why something happened, and then you'll continue to have your life stolen from you, and your children's lives stolen from you, and your grandchildren's lives stolen from you. And then one day, movies like 1984 and Idiocracy will actually become documents. They'll become documentaries. And the funny part is, I still have time to stop it, but it won't happen. Not because I'm pessimistic, I'm realistic. But the thing is, no matter what happens, I will always be prepared. And the few that actually pay attention and let go of the ego and actually can see things from all perspectives instead of one select perspective, those are the people that have the higher probability of success. He who laughs last laughs best. So enjoy your laughs at me now. I will make my videos and continue to speak from my heart and my own belief system. Doesn't make me perfect, doesn't make me right all the time, but it makes me true to myself in my belief system. But I also know my belief system can be flexible and changed. So, if you want to talk about things that have nothing to do with this video, please, by all means, please do. If you want to hate people like me and unsubscribe, I hope you have a pleasant journey listening to people like Alex Jones and others who will tell you what you want to hear and profit off of your ignorance. And if you can't handle that, well, then what I say is grow up a little bit. So, as you could see, I'll get some people unsubscribing. I will get the few that are here for the right reasons to continue to say, wow, Chris actually speaks from the heart. And they'll actually appreciate me even more. And those are the people that I want here. I hope that number grows. Because I'd rather have the people that care, the few that care, than the many that just come to a place because they want to hear something that makes them feel good. That's why so many people are addicted to drugs and alcohol. They want the short-term feel good. They don't think about the consequences of what it does and who it harms. And eventually it kills you. But in that time, other people have made plenty of money off of you. How's that feel? So, little reality check. If you appreciate this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to give it a thumbs down, because it'll make you feel better to show me how much you distaste and dislike my opinions and my right to say them, enjoy it. And we'll see how this train goes down the tracks, and hopefully the tracks will continue. So I do hope that they change the world. But if you can't change your own world, no one else is going to do it for you. If you think all of a sudden this government's going to turn around and give you everything that you need for the first time in its history, good luck with that. Let me know how that works out. So thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered. Have a great day.